Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Haynes.
The entrepreneurial spirit is not contained within an individual person. Invention can be, but the entrepreneurial spirit is only released when two or more people come together to work on an issue, working on that issue transcends what they could possibly do as individuals. The characteristics there were 5 that really stood out. The first was networked intelligence. People who succeed today really understand how to use their networks to connect ideas and other people. Networks are important not just for the networking, but for the intelligence you gain in real time from understanding what's happening all around you. Network intelligence is pretty critical to entrepreneurship. The second skill, if you like, was futuring. The capability to imagine alternative futures that were different from what everybody was saying was going to happen, and to actually make those futures come to pass. The third thing was what I call strategic navigation. That's the ability to work in real time to navigate towards that future you're trying to invent. The fourth capability is called deep design. That is the ability really to converse with people deeply about your passions, your interests, your expectations, and what it is you're trying to conceive and grow or build. And finally, brand resonance, which is you need to get your message out there, and it's the resonance of that idea, your expansion as an individual or a group into a different space to claim that space, and then the people you're interacting with telling back to you what you're doing and who you are and how important that is. That's called brand resonance. Those 5 capabilities, which I call literacies, the 5 literacies, simply because they're whole domains of knowledge, were precisely the capabilities that I see in entrepreneurs all around the world. I believe that sense of being, that sense of purpose is important because we all work from a spirit of abundance. Scarcity and competition kill entrepreneurship. Cooperation and collaboration are 2 of the essential components of entrepreneurship, and one needs to think in that manner. The other component of thinking is the idea has to be big. Your aspirations have to be huge. And then, of course, it's the doing. And in the doing, every entrepreneur will tell you, I have to be persistent. I have to keep going, even when it does get tough, even when I can't find the resources. And the third characteristic of doing, of course, is learning all the time. Find an acupuncture point that will release a whole different energy across a whole system. And then you're talking. That is entrepreneurship.
We have Tessa Hurd-Court, Scott Kilmartin, and Robert Philpott.
Being an entrepreneur is going on a long journey, knowing where you're going but not knowing how you're going to get there.
It's about the state of mind, the attitude that you have. Persistence is part of that, but if you're not passionate about what you do, then I don't think there's any entrepreneurial spirit.
The way I get through the day and kind of get to the dream that I want to create is that failure just can't be an option.
I believe all of us are capable of entrepreneurship, but that very often we lose that capacity through the way we're schooled. It's schooled out of us. It's a real reconceptualization of the notion of value and creating value in society and creating better futures. And the compulsion that comes from that is an ability to expand into a space where you become bigger and better, and that extraordinary capacity, I think, exists at the core of all human beings.
Yeah.
Being creative is great, but if you've got to have at least some knowledge in those other skill sets to make things happen, to get money out of people, to find new clients, and you don't need to be great at all of them, but you need to be pretty good at a couple and realise you're not any good at the others to get some help.
You might be very good at inventing an idea or a product, but a new business never went broke because of a great product. It goes broke because you don't have sales and you don't have the marketing side of it. So I think that having a multidisciplinary approach is actually really important.
You've got to have people around you who will support you enough to tell you it's bullshit and you need to change.
Do you want somebody else in your marriage? Because that third person in your marriage, for example, or your next child is your business, and you live and breathe it. And if it's something that you want to live and breathe, for the next 5 to 10 years or whatever the time frame is, then it's a good idea.
But I think you've got to have people that have the same core. They can be different on the surface with different skills, etc., but they've got to have the same core, the same moral set, the same way of approaching life.
You don't want to die wondering, and you don't want to sit there at another dinner party going, I want to start this business or whatever, which is, I guess, the common cliche. But find some way to test if you can before you jump completely in, and then probably jump completely in.
What if it's easy? Just what if it's easy? If you live in a spirit of abundance, where you don't look to say, I haven't got money and I can't do this without money, so I can't do it. But you say, I have an abundance of relationships, or this network, or this energy, or this, I can start doing it now. And it's going to be easy. I think if you come with that different state of mind, that truly is the mind of an entrepreneur. Because these guys too, whether they're able to enunciate that, will have that capacity, have that impulse.